Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Frankie and Ding Dong Show presents Fridays with Frankie. I am your host. I'm here with my co-host, King Ding Dong. I am Frankie Avalon. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for one of our arguably biggest shows that we've ever had on a Fridays with Frankie. We got a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully, we got a lot of people tuning in. We got the word out earlier today.
Yeah.
King Ding Dong, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, and I hope you're doing well out there in Frankie and Ding Dong Land. Frankie, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Like Frankie said, we have a lot to fry about tonight. Fridays with Frankie.
Yeah.
Not really frying, just kind of bringing you some cool information and all sorts of cool stuff going on right now in Maine bowling. I mean, it is March.
Yeah.
March, they say, might be for basketball, March Madness, but we say March is for bowling.
March is for bowling, baby.
Yeah.
March is for bowling. And don't forget, later on tonight, to check out on FS1, the PBA TOC first step ladder, the 17 through, 14 matches or whatever.
Something
so,
like
yeah.
that. Crazy format.
Pretty cool, yeah. 10 o'clock tonight, so it should be fun.
Advancers.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. So,
yeah, 17
man step ladder. So,
so
it should be fun.
16 matches if you come all the way from the bottom.
Brutal. It's a lot of bowling.
After already bowling, it was three 6-game sets and then 3 8-game sets.
Right, yeah. So, that's a lot of bowling.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? It's for a major. So,
and these guys are conditioned for it.
So, this is a totally interactive show. Please let us know if you can hear us okay. Got the microphone turned up good for you guys tonight. Let us know if there's any issues. Comments. Let's see. Mallory says, Frankie, fry about Wilton in my honor. Wilton 1, Nut Sauce 0. Yeah, I was up there last weekend. Nut Sauce, are you going up tomorrow? Because me and Mrs. Brady are going up there for round 2, and it sounds like it's going to be epic once again. So,
so you had Glass Joe in round 1. Who was round 2? Do you remember?
I don't know. King Hippo, maybe? I don't know. It's definitely not the Sandman, although it felt like the Sandman last week for the ladies. It was pretty brutal. So,
RB's pattern in full effect.
It was, for sure. So we're going to get right into the nuts and bolts of it tonight with our high score shout-outs. And the only one that I know of this week was Eddie Donnell up in Augusta, shot a 300 games. So congrats to Eddie.
Eddie Donnell, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, really cool. So nice for Eddie to get that 300 under his belt. Don't know if it's his first one or multiple.
I think it was his first
one. Was his first one? Well, good for him. Cheers if it was, man. Have a drink on us. So that's
right. Absolutely.
Awesome. If anyone else knows any more high scores from around the state, please let us know. We're going to put it in here. So let's see. Mallory says, I drilled a mindset and polished my envy. Oh. Looking forward to seeing that mindset on the lanes because that should be an interesting one. Josh Alfonso says Von Kaiser. So should be fun. All right. So we don't have any. We don't have any more.
One of those nights.
Right.
Start to frying.
Right. So no more high score shout-outs for now, but what we'll do is we're going to get right into our next topic, which is Maine High School champions, the Bayside High Rollers. King Ding Dong, you're the coach of the team. Congratulations to you and all the bowlers on the team. Bringing the title of the Bayside Bowl. First one, right, for the High Rollers?
Yes, yeah. We had second place the first 2 years, and we finally came home with the title. And,
very good.
Big shout-out to Altered Mayhem.
Fantastic. Yeah, they won last year.
Yes, they're the ones that beat us out the last 2 years to win it. So, I mean, that's awesome.
2-time defending champ, and they took it right to the rail again this year. So
runner-up. So, I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
2 powerhouse programs there. It's kind of like the old, the Duke UNC days, back when both teams were really good.
Right. We talk basketball. It is March.
Right, it is March Madness. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Yeah, no, it was great. I was really happy. For all of the kids out there, there was some really great bowling. Even there's like a startup program from Carabec this year.
Yeah.
And the really passionate people, and like they're new players, so you can't expect too much. But they actually won a game. It was all Baker format, and just to see the joy on their faces.
Yeah, for sure.
And they've come a long way this year, as I must say, every single team. Getting back to in-person matches, it's really cool because you can see the progression of these players on every single team throughout the year. And I'm really proud of all of the teams. I can't wait to, hopefully have all those teams return again next year.
Very cool. Speaking of that, Josh Alfonso commented, how many teams are there?
So right now we have 3 teams that bowl out of Skowhegan.
Okay.
There are 3 teams that bowl out of Wilton.
Okay.
We have the team that bowls out of Lewiston, and then the Bayside High Rollers.
So 8 teams basically is what you have right now. That's not a bad amount. That's a solid amount. Hopefully we can get even more support. It'd be nice if the high schools actually went and supported some of these programs other than some of of the other sports as well.
Yeah,
But,
well, so, and it's bittersweet because like budget season is approaching here in Auburn. And for instance, there's 12 position cuts and 4 sports programs are getting cut. So, I mean, it's kind of bittersweet that no, they don't help us, but you got to figure if we were sponsored by the school, we'd be one of those 4.
For sure.
Cuts.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that we're self-sponsored, and I'm even more happy that Charlie, you and the staff at Bayside Bowl have definitely helped make our program as strong as it is. The support that you guys give us, giving us basically giving us the lane time. You know,
awesome.
we do pay for it, but you know, the deal that he gives us is awesome.
Great.
The progression of our players this year was great. Big shout out to all 5 of my eligible players this year making the cut in individuals.
That's awesome.
And then pulling it through. One of the coolest things though too was like Rick, who's our statistician, he coaches the teams out of Wilton, right?
Yeah.
He presented us with the trophies, and I can't wait till Tuesday, our final practice, where we'll draw the ball raffle, but we're also going to present the trophy to Hungus.
Yeah. Speaking of Hungus, he's in the chat right now, and he said home of champions.
Yes.
He just put in the chat.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
We'll be, as long as you're there Hungus Tuesday, we'll present you with that trophy for us. You know, it was absolutely awesome. But like, so the whole day was in Bangor, all Baker match. And as you guys know, we bowled Baker at Bayside plenty of times.
Sure.
At all-star events and whatnot. Your 5th bowler is also your anchor player.
Right. Yeah.
Now, as you guys remember from our last Fridays with Frankie episode, I also had both individual state winners.
Right. Jason McCarthy and Brooke Gervais.
Right. Rick's like, so congratulations to Bayside for winning. And to show the depth of this team, they had both individual winners, and neither one of them anchored all day long.
Well, that's what it's all about. You know, and you trust your teammates and you trust the process and what you've built. And when you do that, anyone should be able to step up into that spot and make good shots. And obviously they did. And, you know, congratulations to the High Rollers. Yeah. Fantastic season. Well,
and I got to give a shout out to my one senior, Ryan Adams.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why they call EJ Tackett the squirrel.
Right.
Do you know the reason? Those of you guys at home that don't know the reason, here's the reason. Out at league, they call EJ the squirrel, and it's because they watch him at league, and he has the nut. And he's proven it this season.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he is just absolutely bowling amazing. But can you imagine that guy at league?
Right.
You know, is just absolutely crushing it. And that's why they call him the squirrel, because he had the nut. Ryan had the nut in Bangor. That's why he got the spot in the anchor position, and it ended up working out great. And how could I not like having the individual winners in the 3rd and 4th position to lead up to somebody who has a great look in that building?
For sure. Del Picard also says, "What's up, boys?" So good to see you, Del. So again, congratulations to the Bayside High Rollers. We're going to get into the Polish Cup 41 review. Interesting tournament. You know, it started off looking like it was going to be a super high scoring event. Plus 18 was the cut after one game. Then the cut went to plus 18, plus 22, plus 27. Still a plus cut, but not. It only moved 9 pins all day. And aside from, I think, Couch kind of running away at plus 124 to lead qualifying, the field was very tightly packed. It came down to a 1 pin difference, I believe, between the cut and the non-cut. And Stuffed Crust was, I think, 1 pin out from Stephen Major, the eventual champion, by the way.
Right.
Congratulations to Stephen Major becoming the very first 3-time champion in a season of the Carl's Tournament Series. So that's never happened in our series. It's never happened in the Carl Series, but now it has.
Yep.
So congratulations to Stephen Major. Oh, look at that. Brooke Canyon checking in. Shank checking in. How you doing, Shank?
Hey,
all right. Hopefully baby Shank's doing well. So, you know, I made a run. Obviously, a top 8 finish for me. Won a match against Mr. Florida, and then lost to the tournament champion, Stephen Major. You made an even deeper run than I did. You were a top 4 run. And you lost to Stephen in the round of 4. So it was a great day. I used a 6-inch pin innovative solid. Basically mimicked the urethane reaction for me, but better continuation. You used a few different balls as the day kind of went on.
The one remix, the pin down one remix. I switched quickly into the sensor. Used the sensor for pretty much the rest of the day, except for when I moved to 5 and 6 against Stephen Major. The sensor completely lost the look. I ended up switching back to the one remix, and I struck like 5 out of the last 7 with it. But by the time I moved to it, it's Stephen Major. I have 4 red eyes on the board. You know, you can't do that against a player that good.
No, absolutely not. No, for sure. Mallory Clark says Joe hasn't won 3 in a season. I don't believe this.
Well, maybe in the Mist.
In the Mist. Both have won 3 in a season in the Mist. That is absolutely true. But
not
in the Carls and FDDS, and actually I'm going to my crack research team, which is me.
What about Tommy Gunn? How many did Tommy win last year?
Tommy won 2,
but it was between. Was it?
He won 2 and then 1 in ours.
Yes,
right.
Right,
But Joe Ramsdell III has yet to win an FDDS title. He has not won one in our series. So Joe Ramsdell has won in the Carl series,
which is surprising because he's been top qualifier in 2 different one-ball brawls.
Yes, he has. Yep. So Adam Lemarese comes in. Happy St. Patrick's Day, boys. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Sure.
So, so that was kind of the review of the tournament. It was a fun tournament. It was a great way to end the season.
Yeah.
Top 24 points tournament coming up on April 30th. We'll get into that with some other stuff. We got some really juicy stuff coming up, guys. So, what else we got in here coming for comments? So, Mallory Clark says, I thought in 2020, Carl funded the Colcord wedding with his winnings. Partially.
Yeah.
Partially. Yeah.
That's not
So I also want to say thank you to Brunswick Bowling for providing this month's raffle ball again. The Knockout Bruiser won by Meme Supreme, his 20th ball all time, which is incredible. He hadn't won one in quite a while though. He went I think he went about a year without winning a ball. So congratulations to him. Also, huge thank you to Bowler Builders Pro Shops for sponsoring, offering free drilling of all the balls this season. And actually, they're going to be hooking us up. We'll get into that in a little bit with a brand new hammer ball for the. For a tournament coming up. So just wanted to give you a little preview of that. So thank you to Jimmy Clark, shop owner. You're the man, of course. So really appreciate that. Adam Jordan says, still searching for my first win. You're going to want to get that. Yeah. We're going to get into that very soon too.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Then we're going to cover the next tournament coming up on our list. Dirty Lou Derby, host Colonel Sanders up at Just in Time Recreation, March 26th. Still time to get in as far as I know. If he's in this chat, let us know if he's full yet. I don't believe he is.
I don't think he is.
So you can check it out. He has a Dirty Lou Derby group on Facebook. You can join that, and then he has his email information on how to get in. So definitely check that out. Good tournament series. Little Birdie told me maybe it's going to be a hand-oiled tournament. We haven't seen an oil graph for the tournament. If it's hand-oiled, we'll see how that goes. But that'll be interesting. But
I know he was toying with that.
I don't know if that's a definite, but I had heard that, and we'll kind of see exactly what's going to happen. Josh D'Alfonso says, not full yet. Charlie Mitchell said zing after my comment about still searching for my first win for Anna. And Shank says, Mr. and Mrs. Shank will be there. That is awesome. All right.
Great.
All right. There we go. So again, Dirty Lou Derby, March 26th. Still time to get in, Josh D'Alfonso says. So check that out on Facebook. Shane will take care of you. Main State USBC Open Championships begin April 1st at Family Fun Lanes in Bangor. Entry deadline is March 20th. If you haven't filled out your sheets, you don't have much time. I think it can be postmarked by Monday, which is the 20th. So you have to get them in the mail by the 20th. So take care of that this weekend. Get them in the mail Monday morning. My entry's already in. We're all squared away. So I'll be up there the weekend of the 21st, 22nd, or 22nd, 23rd, whatever the hell weekend it is.
So assemble your teams. It's teams of 4 this year.
Teams of 4, yep. So we'll be there.
Get your doubles partners all lined up. Do singles and make sure you pay your extra $5 for the all events.
All right, we're starting to get into some more meat and potatoes here. This was a live breaking thing happening yesterday. The Hungus Baker Doubles, a brand new tournament, April 2nd, Bayside Bowl. There is still room to sign up. Hungus is in the chat. Hungus, let us know how many spots are left if you're still here. We can make sure that comment gets on the screen for people, but call the front desk at gmail.com. I have that on the screen for everyone right now. Going to be a lot of fun. Baker doubles every other frame, basically. So one bowler stays on one lane, one stays on the other lane. And that's a lot of fun,
Yeah, it is.
Decide who's going to bowl the odds and who's going to bowl the evens. And, I'm not sure if you can switch it up between games. That's a question for Hungus. I don't know if your lineup can switch or whatever. But it should be a lot of fun. Hungus says that there are 12 open spots right now. So you definitely want to get into that. 20 spots have already filled in that tournament.
Yeah.
There's 32 teams coming into this event. So I believe it's $120, $60 a bowler, Hungus? I'm not 100% sure.
30, I think it was.
Is that what it is? I can't remember. Hungus can let us know what it is anyways.
I think it was a little less expensive than the normal Hungus event.
Yeah, for sure.
So right around in that same price range between our tournaments and his tournaments.
For sure.
But the doubles events are really a great time.
Hungus says yes, that was correct. $120, $60 a bowler. So that makes sense. Okay. Yep. So that's perfect. All right, excellent. So Again, April 2nd, Bayside Bowl, Hungus Baker Doubles, brand new tournament. You definitely want to get into this.
Yeah, for sure.
For more than one reason, as we'll get into later. We're building to this as we're getting, okay?
Yes,
There's
sir.
reasons why you want to get into this and reasons why you want to win titles. We'll just leave it at that. Bowler Builders Pro Shop, as we alluded to, hooking us up with a Hammer Black Widow hybrid to raffle off at the Hungus Baker tournament. Phenomenal piece of equipment. Everyone on tour is throwing this ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have this in your bag. I've seen Mallory Clark throw this ball. It rolls so good for her.
Yeah.
Get a Black Widow hybrid in your hand.
Nothing hits like a hammer, folks. And
It's,
I gotta tell you, I drilled one of these for one of our customers last night, as a matter of fact. Joe, can't wait to see you roll that thing on Wednesday night.
Oh, right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We tweaked his grip a little bit to take away some hand pain. And man, that Black Widow hybrid, you pull it out of the box, and that is a pretty ball, that HK22.
Exactly. And, it's right in between, right? You have the Widow 2.0, which is that kind of smoother, stronger, solid asymmetric.
Yep.
The Ghost is super, super clean, as you and I both know. You've thrown that ball.
Yeah.
And it's just really clean, really angular. That hybrid gives you the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
A little cleaner than the solid, not as sensitive as the Ghost. It's a great mix, great piece of equipment. So, look at this. Mallory says she shot 757 with it last night. It was so good.
Right.
Hey, Mallory, I didn't get murdered in the parking lot making my turbo deal either, just to let you know. So there's that. So we were talking about that last night.
I got to tell you, if you like balls that smell like Hook, those Brunswick balls,
for sure.
2.0 hybrids. Yeah, when you open the box. Whoo, baby.
So thank you to Jimmy Clark and Bowler Builders Pro Shop for hooking us up once again. Just phenomenal. Now we're going to get into the next thing. The Carl's World Tour Bowler of the Year Tournament happening April 30th at Bayside Bowl. Come see the top 24 in points. Battle it out for the crown. Always a favorite event. One that I love to call, one I even like better bowling in. You and I are both bowling in that event.
Hopefully we're going to have a new guest speaker.
Guest commentator for that event, which would be great. Always good to get that. And Mallory says, oh, good, I need a ball rep tomorrow. Perfect. And then Boomhammer coming in hot. Bring it. Swing for the fences. I like it.
You know what I say about tomorrow, Mal, is get the horsey sauce. Arby's, right?
Yeah, get the horsey sauce. Yeah,
the horsey sauce going.
So all 24 have been confirmed for the tournament. Hungus put that out today. So all top 24 are in for the event on April 30th at Bayside Bowl. It's a lot of fun, and it's a big event, and it's going to be considered an even bigger event here as we go on. So it's a really cool tournament. Look, I'm just alluding to everything here. Isn't it great? Okay, we're going right into it. Next event, Hungus 8K, like the big event every year now.
The big event of the year.
May 20th, 21st at Bayside Bowl. $8,000 first place prize. I believe there's still plenty of room on the 8:30 and 2:30. Is that the correct time for the squads, Hungus? I think it is, but let me know if that's true. So obviously the middle squad fills up pretty fast, but definitely if you're someone who is going to enter and plans on saying, you know what, I plan on possibly re-entering. Obviously, no one wants to, bowl the early squad, and then you can still, maybe get in on a sign-up list for the late squad as well. So, I mean, it definitely, if you don't bowl early and you only bowl late, you only get one chance. So, and if you only want one chance, then sign up for the 2:30 squad. So Hungus says, 16 spots. That's it, left at 8:30. Get signed up now because you want to fill that squad first. Because then, if there's a waiting list for the 2:30 squad, you can jump on that for re-entries. Obviously, first come, first serve for regular entries, but then those re-entries are going to pile up for guys that missed it from the 8:30 and guys that missed it from the 11:30. You don't want to miss it. Sign up for one of those squads. Get your name in now.
Yeah, and I got to tell you guys, so this tournament, $8,000 going to the winner, and you're going to probably not find another tournament that's going to pay you that much money going against so few competitors, well.
Right.
What is it, 128 max field?
What is it? No, it was 48 a squad, right? I think, Hungus. So was it 100 and
so it's not
134? Is it 134? Is that what we're doing this year? Is that 144? Is that true? Is that 3 squads of 48? I might be wrong, but Hungus can confirm that for me. I think it's 3 squads of 48, 144. Last year, it was 264s?
Yeah, that's right.
So 128. So expanded a little bit, but the squads will go a little quicker. So it should be a great time. Only 8,000 first place obviously pays out a whole bunch of spots. I believe either 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 cash ratio, which is phenomenal for a tournament that pays this much money. Get in, do not miss. Get a hold of, call the front desk at gmail.com to get in. Hunga says, yes, 3 squads, 48 entries, so that's 144 bowlers. Still, 144 players for a chance at $8,000. What are you waiting for? It's just lunacy to not get into this tournament. If you're even within 12 hours driving distance of this area, it's 100% worth it. Absolutely.
So, and here's the deal. Like you said, people are going to re-enter. So it's not even like a 1 in 144 chance. Even if you have like 40 people re-enter, now you're talking 1 in 100.
I'm bowling the 8:30 squad. I'm bowling the first squad.
Yeah.
So, and I planned on doing that. That way it gives guys that live further away time to get in and bowl the 11:30 squad.
Right.
I plan on being on, if he has a sign-up list for people for re-entry, I'm going to put my name on that list.
Yeah.
So bowl the 8:30 squad, folks. Fill that squad up, and then we'll dump it into the 2:30 squad if we have to. So let's get that done. Let's get this thing filled up. The more people that get in, the more it gets paid out across the board. So let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there's going to be brackets running. Also, it's side action. It's definitely like the tournament of the year here in the Northeast for sure for amateur action.
And we got a new sponsor coming in. Ace Mitchell gave us a couple of bowling balls to raffle off for the Hungus 8K.
Very nice.
I think what we're going to do is give one away between first and second squad, and then give the other one away between second and third squad. So thank you to Vinny at Ace Mitchell for stepping up. Yeah. And we got a Brunswick Mindset and a Columbia 300 Madness, 2 new releases from the brands of Brunswick. Super excited to have those balls. I actually already have them here, ready to go. So we want to give a big shout out to Vinny at Ace Mitchell. So great last name, Ace. That's awesome. So Hungus says 32 make the cut, but 33 to 36 still cash. So it's a 1 in 4 payout.
Wow, that's awesome.
A 1 in 4 payout
that's
for
really,
a tournament.
Really
for that big of a tournament, that is phenomenal. That's just a tip of the cap to Hungus and what he's allowed to do and what he allows us to do as competitors up here in the Northeast get a phenomenal event. The 8K signature event, definitely. It should fill up. Let's get that dang thing filled up.
So let's look at it again. Let's say we have the 40 re-entries. So now it's rather than 1 in 100 to cash.
Right.
It's going to be like 1 in 3 because 30 of those places cash.
Yeah.
Out of the 100 maybe people that are bowling. So definitely a good tournament to probably be able to make some money in.
Oh, absolutely.
For a lot of players too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not going to be, I don't know what it's on yet, but I guarantee you it's probably not going to be on China.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And we'll see what comes for that. I think the Baker Doubles tournament is on a 38-foot pattern, like a Danish.
Danish 16.
So that'll be a fun one.
That's
FDDS approved, by the way. It's 1.9 to 1 max ratio.
Yeah.
So that is definitely approved for FDDS. So
that one looks very tickly down lane.
All right, so now we're getting into some more of the meat and potatoes of the new stuff that's coming out here that I'm pretty excited about. So Josh says he is confirmed for early squad. Good man, I like it. And Mallory says, I almost missed it. Save me a 2:30 spot in case I tank the first 2 days of Queens. We don't want you to do that. But in case you do, you're super competitive. You're going to be here at this event. I know you'll make it happen. Mallory says, cheese or raspberry Danish. Cheese or raspberry Danish, she says. I like cheese Danish better than raspberry. I'm not a big raspberry fan, so I would go cheese Danish. So
yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I like the seeds. If it's red raspberry with seeds, then yeah, man.
All right. So here's one of our big things. There will be a new tournament coming up this fall. It's the FDDS Carl's Tournament of Champions. PBA has their Tournament of Champions. We've decided that, you know what, between the Mist, FDDS Carl's, there's been 140 titles with more to come between now and this fall. We will have our very own Tournament of Champions. It's going to be a blast. I cannot wait for this tournament to happen this fall. And that's part of a bigger encompassing thing that we have going here. And so we have our own TOC. So that's going to be great. And the best of the best are going to battle it out to every season and, crown a Tournament of Champions winner. It's going to be awesome.
And so we're adding a new major, a huge title.
Huge title, yeah.
And and that's happening this fall. So how hot is Bayside going to be this fall with bringing the pros back in here, having our own TOC this fall?
Here's how it's looking. We basically have possibly a month lined up where we go TOC, the PBA, and then the next first Carl's tournament of the season right after that. Literally bang. It doesn't get any better than that in like a 4-week stretch, does it? I mean, that's as good as it gets.
The PBA hangover is real.
It will be, yeah. So maybe we'll call the first Carl's tournament the PBA hangover again.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So anyways, yes, we'll have our very own Tournament of Champions. Going to be awesome. Way more details to come on that, but definitely wanted to get that out there. And we're going into more announcements right now, as we have now created. We now have 4 majors, just like the PBA has 4 majors on their series. We have 4 majors now in our tournament series between obviously the Mist, which is rolled into the FDDS, and the Carls. Mist FDDS Carls Tournament Series. We have 4 majors now, and I am going to put those on the screen for you here. Let me just get this going. And here it is. Come on. The list of major championship tournaments. Our 4 majors are the Master of the Lanes Carls Bowler of the Year, which the Carls Bowler of the Year has kind of taken the place of Master of the Lanes, but the Master of the Lanes is kind of part of that signature thing.
Which is that 24-player tournament that you talked about on April 30th.
On April 30th.
Make sure you come down and watch that.
Absolutely. That is a major. Mist Match Play Championship, obviously, it's still the signature match play event that we have. $2,000 first place prize. So the Mist Match Play Championship is considered a major title. The Hungus 8K, no brainer, definitely a major championship. Yeah. Absolutely. And then we have the brand new FDDS Carls Tournament of Champions. That is a major. That is your 4 major titles. And that's significant as it comes to other things we are going to announce later still on this show. So those are your list of your 4 major championships. Master of the Lanes, Carls Bowl of the Year, Mist Match Play, Hungus 8K, and the FDDS Carls TOC. Any comments coming in? Josh Delfonso says, what about match play the week before? Right, exactly. So you got that.
Yeah.
And then Mallory Clark says, I need that Master of the Lanes, Carls Bowl of the Year. Last title, the Match Splinter. Jim Griffin says, congrats on the addition of another major. Yeah, so we have now created, we haven't created them. The tournaments have always been there. But we went through, Hungus and I were talking the other night about, we need to designate what are our majors, going forward. So that is what we have, and I think we made a great addition with that.
Can I ask you a question, Frankie?
Sure. Yeah.
Do we have anyone close to the Grand Slam, or even have maybe 2 of those majors so far?
There is one bowler. So here's the thing on that list. And by the way, good question, because that's going to get right into the next banner. All past winners of the events have retroactively been added as major champions on the Career Titles Archive. So if you go to the Career Titles Archive, the jgoulding.wordpress.com, where all the titles are, it's on there right now live. And it tells you there have been 17 majors to date. One person has 2 major titles, and it's actually the same tournament. So no one has won 2 different tournaments yet.
Oh!
Everyone else on the list has won just 1 major.
Wow,
how was that?
That's interesting.
For interesting.
So wait, is it Bucky or is it Storm?
Bucky has 2, and they're both Master of the Lanes. That's the only major that he's won.
No kidding.
So, not that that's a bad thing. He's the only 2-time champion. He's won 2 Master of the Lanes. So, David Bray asks, are all of these open tournaments? Do you have to be a BOPO member? They're all open tournaments. Yeah. You do not have to be a BOPO member. Anyone can enter these events. They're all open fields. It's basically any event is the first 64. The only one that's going to be the caveat is going to be the two majors, the Tournament of Champions and the Bowl of the Year. Bowl of the Year for the Hungus one is for the top 24 in points. Obviously, that's a season long for that season. And the TOC is for past champions. Now, Adam Jordan saying, any thoughts on a non-champions tournament? That's definitely something that's, we can talk about that's in the works. Maybe we'll think about a PTQ or something like that for the Tournament of Champions to get in, for that field to add some spots or whatever for people that have won maybe BOPO titles or something like that, to kind of, if we don't fill 64 or whatever. So.
And, that would make sense, too, because the Tournament of Champions, if we do...
Mallory says, I thought Buck beat me in the finals of match play. It was semifinals that Buck beat you in. Semifinals. Buck has never won the Mist Match Play tournament. I have it right here. I can tell you our match play champions. Our Mist Match Play champions all time. Where are we? John Van Hees, Stephen Dale, Nate Purchase, Eric Copping, Storm Vincent, Alex Aguiar, Brandon Dubuck, and Tyler Copeland. Those are our champions. Buck has never won that event. So yeah, he beat you in the semifinals of that tournament. And I believe he lost that year. It might have been to Stephen Dale, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But yeah, so Mallory says, oh, that was Master of the Lanes. Yes, Master of the Lanes. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't Match Play, it was Master of the Lanes. Correct. That is correct. Yes, I do remember now that you've actually said that. So everyone has it. There's 17 major titles to date. There are 16 different bowlers on that list that have won a major. It's actually listed individually on the major section, and actually on the combined titles, it has a section that has how many titles you have and how many majors you have next to it. There's actually 2 columns. So
which is really cool.
Which is cool. So definitely expanding everything here and getting more into what we're doing and all that stuff. So and some of this stuff is going to become really important for coming up to the next segment that I'm going to be speaking about. And we have one more comment coming in. Jim's almost at 18. Very nice. Yep, absolutely. So banner coming up next. This is the cool one, guys. We're creating a Hall of Fame. So this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time, ever since back to my Miss days, wanting to get to the point where we had enough tournaments and enough titles and enough caveat and gravitas or whatever you want to call it out there to have a Hall of Fame. And with what our bowlers go through every month and all the years we've been, this is now into year 14 of, me kind of doing this. A Hall of Fame is definitely necessary, and definitely some very worthy people for inaugural class. I have a very good idea of who those are going to be, but obviously not giving anything away, because I want to do kind of a cool thing where maybe like live calls to the people when they get the call that they're going to be in the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. So this is something that's near and dear to my heart. So there's definitely a lot more details coming soon. There's definitely qualifications to get into the Hall of Fame. The Dick de Jour says, what about a Hall of Shame? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's always a possibility, but
maybe we can make that a segment of Fridays with Frankie. We can have a weekly shame of that.
Definitely going to be involved with Bayside Bowl on this. I think it would be a natural fit to have a ceremony for the Hall of Fame members at Bayside Bowl. Definitely our, kind of our home base for a lot of things here, and really cool, really exciting stuff. And as all of this stuff ties in, major championships, number of titles, other stuff that goes along with these events, not just winning. There's other stuff that obviously is very important as well. So really cool, really cool. So really excited. I'm really excited about this. This is something that's been really near and dear to me, and other tournament series have halls of fame and stuff like that, and I believe it is time for what we're doing to recognize our bowlers that have been the best of the best for a long time, to be recognized in that fashion.
Yeah, and so I mean, whether you're a title winner or not, like if you have competed in any of these tournaments that we've been running, that Frankie's been running back in the Mist, back in the day, that Hungus, we've been helping out him with. If you have competed in these, darn well that these bowlers have earned what, will be an actual Hall of Fame. And it's not like to be spoken lightly. These are tough, grueling conditions, lots and lots of different conditions, like always different. Yes, we're putting down sport shots, but it's never usually the same one. I can't even remember, reusing some patterns. Every once in a while it happens, and maybe we reuse something that we bowled on, during 3v3 or something like that. Every once in a while, or something similar, but man, it's a sport shot all the time. Yeah, and sometimes it's super sport when you bowl the FDDS stuff.
Hungus comes in and says, big factor in that for the Hall of Fame is how many holes we put in the walls of Bayside. For me, it's 0. I know it's 0 for you too.
Yeah,
pretty funny, but
so
not funny. Don't ever put a hole in any bowl.
Any hole in the wall probably takes you out of running.
I'd say that's probably doesn't help your case for Hall of Fame. Jim Griffin says, happy 70th to my brother-in-law and my dad, James Goulding Jr. last Friday. Yes, he turned 70 last Friday. We celebrated. It was a lot of fun. So Josh Alfonso says, first ballot. Tip of the cap. So Josh, thank you for all your support of the tournament series. And so that was the big announcements, with obviously a tournament of champions coming in, creating the 4 majors, retroactively recognizing the bowlers, the 16 different bowlers with major titles now. Yep. Very cool. And just the diversity. You figure there's 17 titles. You thought there might be someone with 3 or 4 or 5. There's one guy with 2. Yeah. And then there's 16 guys or 15 other guys with 1.
Yeah. It just goes to show you, different
how hard it is.
Match up with different people.
And in the entirety of the Mist FDDS and Carls. Number one, we've never had a 300 in the FDDS series. There's never been a 300 in the Carl series. There has only been 2 300s in missed history and 1 299 game. And you figure this is we're spanning 14 years now. Okay.
Now, was one of those 300s before you switched to the really tough patterns, though?
Yeah, so I'd always put out pretty tough patterns, but there was always a few houses that, for whatever reason, somehow would end up the house shot. And one of the 300s was shot up at Sports Arena in Bangor, actually. So, but actually, one of them was actually at Bayside, which was Johnny Deviate. And that, I believe, was on, it might have been Wolf that we bowled on.
He's kind of good.
He's kind of good. Yeah. So, and Josh Corum has a 299. So in the tournament series. So
well, we had Storm. Didn't Storm have 290?
290. He might have had 290. Yeah, he had front 11, but 297, 298, something like that. Yeah.
I had 290.
Yeah.
Scotch on the Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a few games up there, but again,
Railroad did it in a mist. You might be right. He might be the other one. I thought there might have been 3, so I'd have to go back and check my records. I'm sure I have it, but it might have been. You might be right, Jason, that it might have been Railroad shooting one as well. I know he shot a ton one tournament, but I can't. You might be right. So yeah. So really cool, Hall of Fame, awesome, super pumped about that.
So wait, you said 140 titles, right?
Yes. So far,
probably 64-ish bowlers in most of the tournaments. Let's say average.
Right.
Bowling 4 games of qualifying and then match play and such. So we're talking thousands of games.
Oh yeah.
And under 10 honor or close to honor scores.
Yeah, maybe 6 total.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
That's great. Yeah. Tens of thousands.
And we have some great bowlers.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
PBA champions.
Yeah.
Literally
PBA
stuff.
champions. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're not bowling on ice cream here.
Yeah,
so
sure.
When you get inducted into the Hall of Fame, man, that's something.
It's going to be epic. It's going to be super epic.
When you win one of these majors, that's something huge.
Hungus says Railroad has 1 hole in the wall. Maybe he's disqualified.
Yeah. So
no missed titles though for Railroad.
You know what? It's cool though is we had the Bopo Grand Slam.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
The king shit, the doubles, the banner, and the draft league. So now not only is there that to chase for people, now you have the major tournament series that has the Grand Slam, which is us putting out the tougher stuff.
Absolutely.
So that's 2 Grand Slams to chase now in Bayside Bowl, and that's just the amateurs. Let's bring on those pros this fall.
And there's only 2 bowlers who have a title in all 3 series, which would be the Miss, the FDDS, and the Carls, and that would be Tommy Young and Joe Colcord, I believe, are the only 2 that have titles in all 3. So that's pretty impressive.
That is very impressive. Yeah, both great players. I mean,
So we have, Jason says, at least it wasn't a hole through the masking unit with as hard as he throws it.
True.
Mallory says, yes, the elusive Bopo Grand Slam. Sigh, damn you, Draft League.
Yes.
Draft League's a hard one,
Draft League is a hard one, yeah.
So great, the Hall of Fame, super pumped about that. You see the ticker running across the bottom. That is for the missed FDDS Carl Series Titles Archive, which has the major champions on there with the retroactive titles on the list for them. It's in a separate section, and it's under their combined title section. You'll see them both on there. So really cool, really excited about that. So our own Master Splinter, Jimmy Clark, has a major title. I believe it's a Master of the Lanes title that he has. So
he does, yeah.
So
dude, that's so cool. And so the TOC, that is awesome. And as you said, 140 titles, but you have multiple winners.
Right. So
if we're not able to capture enough, I think I like the idea of a PTQ, and I like the idea because if you come up through the PTQ, you got to bowl a bunch of games in the PTQ and then a bunch of games in the TOC to make it there
for sure
and make it grueling, just like they do in the pros.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. If we only get 45 champions into this tournament, we have a 64 player field, and maybe you open it up to possibly some PTQ spots or something, for maybe the people have won Bopo titles or whatever. Just, some kind of title to bowl the PTQ to get into the tournament of champions. I kind of like that. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. So,
some ideas we can.
Always good to have ideas thrown out there. So, really, really, really cool thing.
I think
Gaskell says a 17-man step ladder.
Yeah,
that would be a long step
Yeah,
ladder for us,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
We'd be bowling until midnight.
No, I like the idea of putting the PTQ through a grueling 6-gamer prior to even
Right.
the TOC.
Yeah, Melissa says I need
maybe.
queenship or grand slam. Yeah, and the PTQ you wouldn't have match play or anything. I would just say you just take whatever scores are out of that, like a sweeper, 5-game, 6-game sweeper, and this is bang, you take however many out of that. So that'd be pretty cool. So.
And
definitely something to talk about for sure.
I imagine the TOC might be a little bit longer format than we usually see. What usually is.
Usually, yeah, and it's something we'll like I said, it's going to be more
in the early stages.
It's early stages, but we have it out there for everyone now. Super pumped about all that stuff. Really, really pumped. So pretty cool stuff for you guys. So. Also, just to touch on another thing here, I had people might have seen me put them on my social media, but I got new custom Rift Apparel jerseys on their way. I'll have them before we go to state tournament. It's going to be close. It's going to be should get a middle of April, which means I'll have them for nationals, which would be awesome because we're going in May 9th and 8th and 9th or 9th and 10th or whatever that is. But let me show you the two designs, the new designs. You guys have seen my other ones. This is the my signature one for the periodic table of elements, which is obviously I'm a lab scientist, so that's a big one for me. One with the hot pink for the front and the back, for the name and for the radical on the front. Pretty cool.
Love how it pops.
It does. You got the Bullet Builders, obviously, Frankie Ding Dong Show. Got my Instagram handle on the collar. Really pumped about that one. And then the one that I like, which was the the vintage kind of pop art, one with the
very cool.
Has the pop art, drawing hand with the bowling ball, and really pumped about that one. The 3D view of that really looked great, and super pumped to get both of those. So you can check out riftapparel.com, check out those two jerseys, and really psyched about what those guys have done for us, and Nathan and Cedric and the boys and Yannick and all those guys. Really cool to work with. Really good dudes. So.
Yeah,
really
we're actually in the process of working on my 2 new ones.
That's right.
I love Frankie's new designs. That blue with the pink really pops. And, I love the retro hand design. And you got to say, it's Joey Pants approved because that ball looks like it has
bubble. It looks like it's
Joey Pants.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He's so much fun when he was up here.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely check that out. We get some comments coming in. Tommy Young says we should rock the periodic table shirt for nationals. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Get a hold of Nathan. He'll hook you up with that periodic table shirt for sure. We'll definitely, and you still have time to get it. So I'll definitely, I can get you the email to send him because it's not on the website yet because it's so brand new. But I'll get you his email. So Tommy, we'll hook that up. Brian Gaskell says going to miss you in Reno by a week. They go May 15th and 16th. Yeah. Because they were possibly not going to make the 8K because of timing for all that stuff. But so let's see. David Bray says, have you ever thought about doing work as tournament consultants across the country? Bowlers are no longer challenged due to regular house batters. Yeah, I mean, we're up for anything. Like if people want to get a hold of us, I have private messages with people a lot, asking me questions and everything. And, definitely like we have our own, obviously custom design oil patterns that we've gotten into. We got a bunch of them. I think we got like 14 or 15 patterns in there now.
Yeah.
And Greg does a great job, obviously.
Absolutely.
Working with us with that, and having a great head mechanic who is obviously super intelligent, that is willing to, I wouldn't say put up with our shit, but our weird ideas and stuff like that. So
he more than does that, Frankie. Let's face it. Greg's like the third person in our team when it comes to building.
It is. 100%. It's definitely a 3-man team for sure.
He is definitely as evil.
Greg is awesome. He comes up with some weird stuff too, which is awesome.
Well, I mean, just to look at some of our sketches and be like, yeah, I'm down. When people would look at it and be like, gross.
Just like when we made the water pattern, like when we made water pattern, it basically came off of the idea of when we talked about Arby's pattern and all this weird stuff. And I was like, can we make kind of a symmetrical pattern that kind of looks like
Scotch glasses?
We started with Scotch glasses, and that kind of made a W, right? Yeah. So I said, because we were thinking Scotch on the rocks, right? Yeah. Scotch doubles. So we made the 2 shot glasses, and I put that on paper, and then that kind of evolved to look like a W. And then, okay, well, what if we dip the pattern? And that's just how it ended up. It had nothing to do with the Whataburger logo, but when it came out, I was like, holy shit, that was like the Whataburger logo. What I mean?
Yeah. So it was absolutely terrible. And the cool thing
about it, we're not done with that pattern because I want to revisit that pattern and make some tweaks to get that to play a little bit, I wouldn't say, well, softer, yes, because it was so brutal that maybe get the track to play a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right. And taper those outsides a little.
I almost think we could adjust ratios to make that pattern play pretty easy. I mean, still have a little bit of out of bounds.
Yeah, for sure.
Play very soft.
Yeah. But yeah, so David, I mean, it's a possibility. My inbox is open to anyone. I'll answer any questions, but certainly something I wouldn't have any issue with entertaining.
Yeah.
Randy Plummer says that Neba's looking for a tournament director. I got enough going on, and I don't think I'd be able to design oil patterns for them, which is kind of what we like doing with our stuff. And they've done a great job. I'll tell you, it's one of the preeminent tournament series in the country, the longest running monthly one, and all that. They do a great job of both a bunch of their events. So I really hope that they have good luck finding the next tournament director. Obviously, Dan and Becky have done a really good job there for many years.
Yeah.
And
Becky's got the college team and everything.
Yeah, it's a lot, and so hopefully that they, I'm sure that they'll find someone good for that position. I know they will. And, I'm super happy where we're at and growing what we got going on here. And, definitely, but I appreciate it, Randy. If I had the time, who knows? And Jim Griffin says, I can totally see both of you doing that. Yeah. Hey, lane consultants and tournament directing consultants, you never know.
Yeah,
hard to say.
If you need to FDDS up your tournament.
Right, FDD it up. So that's basically what we had tonight. We covered everything that I wanted to cover. We got a lot of good comments in here tonight, and super pumped about the whole Hall of Fame thing was the big one. Definitely super pumped about that. And obviously we have 4 majors now. I'm going to put those on the screen for y'all so you can see them again. Here's our majors. Bang. List of major championship tournaments. Carl's Bowl of the Year. Miss Match Play Championship, Hungus 8K Championship, and the FDDS Carl's Tournament of Champions. Super pumped about having our own majors now, and just a little bit more for people to really kind of go after and say, and that definitely is going to go into, qualifications for Hall of Fame. Major titles is going to be something that gets looked at, and a little bit more weight than you see, if someone. Maybe one bowler has 6 titles and no majors, and someone has 4 titles but 2 majors. That's going to make a big difference. So,
it really will,
so that's kind of part of it that goes into it too. So, and really pumped about that. And we have some great bowlers that have bowled these tournament series over the last 14 years. And when I look at the laundry list of bowlers that have competed and won, it is just like a who's who of Northern New England bowling. It is, I wanted something to give back to the bowlers and say, you know what, you guys who have been the best of the best for a long time deserve this, and I'm super pumped about it.
They absolutely. We've said it before. They definitely do deserve it. When you look at that list of winners, it's
insane.
Some pretty awesome.
It's
players.
insane. It's insane when you look at who's on that list, and just think. So, the tournament champion is coming up in the fall. Before then, you have many chances to qualify, right? If you're in the top 24 in points, if you win this tournament and you haven't won a title, you still have a chance to get into that TOC.
Right,
you have the Hungus 8K. You have the Baker doubles, which is 2 titles, really. You and your partner each get a title. That counts as a title for each of you.
Yeah.
So if you and your partner say neither of you have a title and you win, you're both into that TOC, right? So there's a chance for 2 titles there. You get a chance at the 8K. You get a chance at the top 24. The mismatch play is coming up. It's going to be in July this year. So just to let everyone know, that's coming up. And I want to say it's July 27th, I think, is what we worked out. But I'll double check. That's a little bit ways off. But that date is set in stone. That date is going to be set in stone. But so... yeah, super excited about that. So the mismatch play will be probably your last chance to get into the TOC field before the TOC actually happens, unless something, who knows, maybe we come up with something between now and then that would, if it's an FDDS tournament or a Carl's, it'll count. Yeah. Any title will count for that. So pretty excited. Yeah, and thank you to Hungus. Oh, 7/23. Thank you, Hungus. I knew it was near the end of July. 7/23 for the mismatch play championship. So mark it on your calendars. Yep. It's already set in stone with Bayside. That's obviously one of my signature events, and that was like the first tournament in the state that paid that much money. Yeah. We had it at $1,000 way back, bumped it up to $1,500. It's $2,000 now for first. If we can get more sponsors, that's another thing we're working on is sponsors for next season. That's something we've talked about. Looking into a possible tiering program for sponsorships, kind of like a like a bronze, silver, gold level for sponsorships for the FDDS thing. Yeah. So if we might roll that out, if any sponsors are watching or you guys want to get involved, a lot of it would involve us obviously putting your brand on all of our streams and telecasts and all that stuff, and getting you in for a spot with our show, our Fridays with Frankie, giving you a 10-minute spot or so on our show, plugging your brand, putting you on our pages, all that stuff. There's different levels that could be to that, but the more sponsors we get, the more money we can put back into the content, whether that be adding cameras, like the PBA does with having, being able to see the score sheets at the top and stuff like that. Yeah, all that stuff that we can put money, whatever we get in for sponsorship money will go back into the tournament series via 100%. Prize fund or equipment upgrades and all that stuff. So if we get sponsorship money, that all is going to go back into the series in one way or another, and to give it back to the bowlers, which is what we're looking to do. To try to more or less try to improve the entertainment value for you guys. For sure. Yeah. And obviously we love doing it. So, and, the more that we can do that, the better. So it's going to be great. The better equipment we have. Obviously, we've made huge strides the last 2.5, 3 years. I mean, from where we were to where we are now is great. And we only started this, 2020? 2020. Yeah, 3 years ago. So basically 3 years ago right now. Yeah. Right, March. So it's kind of February, March is when this started, the whole thing. So really appreciate all you guys. If you know any sponsors, definitely have them reach out to me, have them reach out to Levi, and we'll definitely we'll figure something out. For sure. Yeah, we can even probably do like mini commercials. For sure. Because we do cast a lot of bowling action. It's not just the Fridays with Frankie. No, we cast a lot of the Bopo stuff. Yeah, So there's plenty of time while there's bowling happening for us to plug a little commercial about your product, your brand. So go ahead and get a hold of us. I know that there's several different things we can do, and maybe we can even make up an FDDS signature saying that goes along with your product. Oh, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. I'm just putting something in here now that I want people to be aware of. I put a comment in here saying the king shit, queen shit, Bopo doubles qualifying is going on now. It is, yes, that's right. So if you have not, if you're obviously a Bopo bowler and you haven't done your king shit or queen shit qualifying, please make sure that you get into Bayside and get that done. Yep. I believe it's $15. August, you might want to correct me on that. I think that's what it is. $15, and then you and your partner can go qualify for your doubles. $15 a piece for that. Yep. And definitely you don't want to miss that. I'm putting them up for all 3 streams that we have it up, so people on all 3 can see it: YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I got them all up there. If you're a Bopo member and you haven't done it, obviously you and I still need to go do our doubles qualifying. We're going to get in there and do that very soon. Yep. And I'm going to do my king shit. I might do that. I have to do my king shit too. Yeah, so definitely get in there and do that. You don't want to miss it. Those are super fun events. Yeah, and definitely both of those are the Bopo majors. So yes, absolutely. You definitely want to, if you want to qualify for that. Yeah, for sure. Majors. So that's it might not be the FDDS Carl's majors, but they're still prestigious. 100%. I'll tell you what, it is. You've won a king shit title. I haven't. We've come to the finals of Bopo doubles before. We haven't won it yet, but. Let's see if we can fix that this year. All right. So anyways, guys, we're going to wrap up the show. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the content tonight. It's one of our biggest shows with all these announcements we've ever had. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed what we have coming up, what we've been able to give you to this point. And really excited for the Baker Doubles Tournament coming up on April 2nd. Also, don't forget Dirty Lou Derby. Get a hold of Shane McFarland on March 26th. Yeah, still and then we have the Top 24 tournament on April 30th, and then the Hungus 8K on May 20th and 21st. Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. Maine State Open tournament going on the whole month of April, but your entries are due by Monday. You better get those in. Yeah. You don't have a lot of time left for that. I know on the Maine State USBC website they do have the forms online, so you can download them and print them and then get them mailed. I believe it's check or money order only. I actually asked Angelina this year if they were accepting Venmo, because I was going to just Venmo them the money. And she goes, no, they're not. But that's a great idea, she goes, for something in the future. I said, I think it would be an awesome idea. Then you guys get your money like instantly. You don't have to worry about it. Right. And then I could just email you the entry, and you don't even have to worry about stamps or nothing. Just here's the entry, and bang, put it in. Yeah. So I think maybe in the future, maybe I'll go to a state meeting. They love when I go to state meetings. So it always goes well. Anyways, on that note, we're going to end the show tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we'll definitely see you. I'm sure probably next Friday we'll have another show.
Yeah.
If not, it'll be probably 2 Fridays from now. But if anyone gets a high score between now and then, please shoot me a message, shoot Ding Dong a message.
Yeah.
We want to get anyone the recognition. Even it doesn't have to be a 300 or an 800. If someone shot their first 200 game or someone shot their first 700 series, we want to hear about it. We want to get it in here for everybody.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. Yeah. There's definitely different goals and levels of honor scores depending on the level that you're
at. Absolutely.
And, hey, we like to celebrate that.
We love it all.
As much as you guys.
Junior Haas and All Day LeMay are the current leaders in doubles, by the way.
Nice.
Coming in hot with that comment right before we get off the
Very
air.
nice. Do you know what that score is, Hungus?
Yeah, Hungus, what is that score for the doubles?
Just so that way we can put it out there. And, both of those events really fun. King Shit,
King Shit, Queen Shit, doubles. Yeah. And then I love going in and streaming. Like, I know, like the day of the BOPO, league, the bowling ball and all that. But I love. Oh, here we go. 690 and 599 singles. Okay, so that's what's leading singles now. Okay, so Junior Haas leading for the King Shit with 690, and All Day LeMay leading Queen Shit at 599.
Wow, great bowling. Yeah.
All right, excellent.
Yeah.
Right on. So perfect.
And,
all right. So that's
by
good.
the way, we're bowling on Viper for those of you guys that don't know.
And if you haven't taken advantage yet, the Viper Kolsch beer that we have, which is our signature beer, I want to say it's from is that Maine Brewing? I think it is that Maine Brewing Company. It's very good. Like, and I don't drink a lot of Kolsch's, but that is a very good beer. Like, I'll drink that on a Tuesday night for sure. It's really so definitely check that out for sure.
I'm hoping you're drinking Guinness on Friday because Guinness for Goulding.
Guinness and Goulding. And, that's a match made in heaven.
Shark winning too would be nice.
Yeah. So because we're not. What a weird schedule, right? So we bowled last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then we had this week off. We don't bowl till next Friday.
Yeah.
How weird is that? Maybe we should do a show live from Bayside because we're not. That's right. Next Friday we won't be able to do a show. We'll be at Bayside bowling. Maybe we should do a show live like Game 3 during BOPO match, and then that'd be fun.
Depends how many buckets the boys are in.
Jesus, yeah. All the buckets a couple weeks ago.
Right.
But all right. So anyway, 697, not 690 for Junior Haas. We were corrected on that. Hungus put that up, 697. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We could go all night because we love talking to you guys, but we're gonna cut it short because we definitely want to. We gotta get a little.
We don't want to miss.
PBA's coming up at 10 o'clock tonight.
Gonna make more coffee.
We're gonna make more coffee. Get watching the PBA tonight, and there's 2 shows tomorrow. Although I'll be piecing out up to East Wilton to watch Angelique and the girls bowl tomorrow. But I'll have my phone on, and I'll be able to stream stuff right on my phone. So we can, depending what time the shows are. If they're late enough, I'll come back and watch them right at home tomorrow night. So it should be fun.
Well, Zen has league tomorrow, and then actually.
So maybe Sunday we can get in there and do a little doubles qualifying.
Well, she has Junior Gold Sunday.
Oh, she does.
Maybe after that, yeah.
Okay, but maybe I'll do King Shit before then, and then maybe we can do doubles.
Oh, you're in Wilton tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm in Wilton tomorrow.
Shit, I was thinking maybe tomorrow.
Well, you could do King Shit tomorrow if you want.
Maybe you can do that. Yeah.
All right, but then maybe we can do doubles later Sunday after she's done Junior Gold or something. Yeah. Or Monday or whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll get in there. Make sure you get your butts in there too in the Bayside if you're a BOPO bowler to get in there and get qualified. So
and you can continue to try to qualify in limited times.
Right. It's not just a one-time thing. For sure. You can go in 2, 3, 4, whatever you want. Like if you didn't like your score, go in and bowl again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why not?
I don't think we mentioned that, so I just wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it multiple times. Yeah. Definitely a great idea. I mean, you get the bowl, $15, no brainer. Just go do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Throw your 3 games and.
Yeah, have a good time, and hang out, have some great food and a couple drinks, and make it a night.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so thank you, everyone. Thank you, Hungus, for actually joining us tonight, and a lot of comments and giving people a lot of good information for us. Thank you to all of our viewers who commented in here and just watched. Even if you're lurking, we still love you. Definitely, we like as much interaction as possible, but we love our lurkers too. So,
absolutely.
So maybe next week we'll check in live from Bayside. Maybe it's just a little 30-second thing, but we'll definitely have a show 2 weeks from now because we won't be bowling BOPO that night. So, thank you everyone for tuning in, and definitely we'll have more information on that TOC tournament, a Hall of Fame, all that stuff coming up. So, appreciate you guys tuning in tonight, and we really appreciate it. And what does King Ding Dong always say?
Get the kids in the center.
Get the kids in the center.